Hello and welcome to another SkaredCast Battle Report. Today, 9th edition. We're playing Scorched Earth with the Orks, charging against the Drukhari in a battle of speed and wits. Let's begin.
The Dark King.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Battle Report. I'm here at Kyle's place. Say hi, Kyle.
Bonjour, hello.
Now, it's of course the first guest he's had in 4 months since COVID started.
Yep.
So we are doing COVID regulation stuff, masks on, all that good stuff. And I'm here at the lair of Kyle. We've got a treat for you today. A really cool Drukari list versus a really cool Orc list. So make sure you stay tuned. Let's dive in to the armies. Of course, since we're at Kyle's place, wanted to make sure I showed off just how many orcs he has. Kyle does run a 3D print website off of GearGutsMekShop.com.
Yep.
So make sure you check it out. Basically, all this stuff is just 3D prints, conversion bits for GW kits, like a whole bunch of stuff. So check it out. If you are a Treadhead Wartastic war boss, you definitely want to take a look at what he has to offer because they are incredible. Now we're doing a huge apocalypse game with Kyle's entire collection against a bunch of us later in the year. So make sure you stay tuned for information on that as well.
That's only the first half. There's more.
I know. You don't have it. You don't have everything displayed. And here I have 2,000 points of Drukari. This is one of everything except for Court of the Archon and or Beast Pack. That's it. That's the only thing I couldn't fit in 2,000 points to run what I was running. So it is a triple patrol detachment. As you know, I've been loving it, but I wanted to just showcase a bit of everything. Why not? Because as a Drukari player, I love having everything in my collection and using everything every once in a while. So to start off, we have Archon Skari himself, the standard loadout with a Huskblade Blast Pistol. I'm running 10 Kabalite Warriors with a Blaster, 5 Incubi, 5 Scourge with 4 Haywire Blasters, 1 Venom, 1 Raider, 1 Reaper, 1 Razorwing Jetfighter, 1 Void Raven Bomber. Then we have a Patrol Detachment of Prophets of the Flesh, 1 Homunculus with a Hex Rifle, 5 Mandrakes, 5 Racks, 3 Grotesques, 1 Talos with Haywire, Chain Flail, Macro Scalpel, 1 Kronos with all the upgrades, and a patrol of Cult of the Red Grief, 1 Succubus, 1 unit of Witches with a Blast Pistol, 1 unit of, that's right, you've seen it here first, folks, Hellions with a Phantasm Grenade Launcher, and 9 Reaver Jet Bikes with 3 Heat Lances. And this is 2,000 points of pure, unadulterated Drukari in all its glory. I love it. It's great. Not any copies, which is awesome. Okay, so as for Warlord traits, Archon Skari has gone for Hatred Eternal, so he gets to reroll all wounds against everything, because he hates everything. He's also taken the Alliance of Agony, which is good for him, yeah. That means that the Homunculus can take an extra D3 command points with Diabolical Soothsayer and gets a free reroll per game. And she has taken the Warlord trait of Lightning Fast Reflexes or whatever, so she has a 3-up invulnerable save. My free relic this game is going to be the Bloodglaive on her, which is essentially a really cool Power Fist, essentially. So, that's it, and I start with 11 plus D3 command points to start. Da 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 da. If anybody doesn't know what that reference is, go back and learn your geekdom, folks. This is 2,000 points of helicopters. Warcopters. Chinorks, as they're called. It is one of Kyle's cool 3D prints, which are fantastic. If you haven't, with a few scratch builds in there, they are essentially aircraft. Yeah, they're dedicated transport aircraft with lots of guns. So think Venoms that are have more wounds, and have more guns. And today, Kyle, you've decided to bring how many?
13.
13 of them. Lucky 13. A baker's dozen. So I went for one of everything. You went with 13 of one thing.
I have grots. Grots count.
Yeah, no, they do. Okay, so explain to me how this list works.
It runs in your face.
Okay.
Because they're aircrafts now, so
Yep.
they have that magical defense against round melee.
Cool.
They all carry bombs. They
Yep.
all carry really good weapons.
Yep.
They can charge you.
Yep.
All the fun stuff. They're good in melee.
Yep.
This list is basically showing off that Warcrafters might be our best unit
As an orc.
as an orc.
I
for
like it.
just how dumb they are as vehicles.
It's fantastic. They
So
all
what-
have a bunch of guns. They got bombs on them. They can fly over stuff. What's their movement?
Up to 24 a turn.
Up to 24. They don't have a minimum move.
Nope.
They can't take objectives though, so you have to get out to take
Yes.
objectives. But they're all transports.
Yep. They
Cool.
explode for D6 more wounds.
That's a big explosion.
I know.
Can't re-roll that anymore.
No.
No. So in you have, is it one battalion?
Yeah, it's a single battalion.
Cool. 3 big mechs.
3 big mechs, all with shock attack guns, one being the warlord.
Using the Vigilus, because this is not a GT mission.
Exactly.
So you've spent the CP to make a Super Shaka.
Yep.
And they are bad moons.
Yep.
Cool. And then
Actually-
you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So 3 of those are mechs.
Okay.
And 2 of them are runt herders.
Very cool. So just single choices.
Single characters.
Infantry to
Infantry,
take dedicated
exactly.
transports.
Yep.
Which I love. And it reminds me of when I used to take 13 Venoms or 14 Venoms. Yeah. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units
Yep.
of 10 grots. What do you think of the grots at 5 points apiece there, Kyle?
Oh, it's so dumb.
So dumb. Okay, I think
not-
I think it's worth it because grots are really
But not
powerful.
as dumb as cultists. The same stat line as guard, being more expensive than guard.
That's true. With that, let's dive into the game. Let us know down below what you think. 13 helicopters of doom versus one of everything Drukhari. Let's dive into the game. We are playing Scorched Earth, so mission 5 of the Strike Force size. 6 objectives on the table, Dawn of War deployment, and the mission briefing and whatnot. So before we go into that, we're going to pick our secondary choices and then get into the deployment. And here we are after deployment. As you can see, a very moderate deployment from the Drukhari. Of course, ruins, obscuring, scalable, defensible. So they obscure basically like this. So I'm hiding out of line of sight right now, as weird as that is. All the Chinorks have decided to go all across the board. There's so many of them. Now, Kyle, you're not using bad wounds.
No, I'm
You're
trying
using
Death Skulls.
You're using Death Skulls, which does give them all a 6-up invulnerable save,
Yep.
and all your infantry becomes objective secured, even characters.
Yep.
So that's really good for scoring points, especially when you have lots of little characters running around.
3 rerolls.
Perfect, and lots of rerolls: 1 to hit roll, 1 to wound roll, and a damage
Save,
roll.
I think.
Damage roll, wound roll, hit roll. Yeah,
Yep.
per shooting, which is fine. Your warlord trait is the +1 damage against vehicles, +1 to wound,
Plus
+1 to wound.
against vehicles
Yes.
and monster creatures.
And monsters, which is good. And then you've got your
shock
3
attack
shock attack guns over here,
Yeah.
which are trying to keep alive this game.
Yes.
And then you've
Look
got
at
a
that.
variety of different, like, it's so crazy. I can't see. There's so many. It's like a horde of helicopter vehicles coming at me. I put Grotesques, Rax, Homunculus, Talus Kronos, or Talus Kronos, Razor Wing Jet Fighter, the Bikes, Reaper, Raider with Incubi, Archon, Succubus in there, 10 Cabalite Warriors, 5 Witches and a Venom. I've deep struck the Scourge, the Mandrakes, and I spent 1 CP to deep strike the Hellions, and then the Void Raven Bomber is here as well. That's it. That's it as for secondary choices. I've decided to bring it down. Yep. He's decided to bring it down as well because he gets lots of points from me. So that's a given. I've decided to engage on all fronts, so recon, right? So because the objectives are where they are and stuff, you kind of want to get into table quarters, which makes sense. Kyle has done the same because all his aircraft can go everywhere and get lots of points. And he's decided to go while united we stand, or while we stand we fight, which is the 3 most expensive models in an army are actually these 3 shock attack gun mechs. So if they stay alive, they give them points. And I've decided to bring attrition to the table. So if I kill more than him than he kills of me in a battle round, then I get points. Attrition, a war of attrition against the orcs Who knew? Especially a big army of orcs like that. Okay, so with that, let's dive in. I haven't got my Skari dice yet, but they did go up on the website. I'll put a link down below. If you want a set of Skari dice, check out the link below. Okay, with that, Kyle, best of luck.
Likewise.
Let's roll off, see who goes first, and it's just a super simple roll. Oh, I have to re-roll it, whatever it is. I'm not even going to look at it. If it's not flat on the mat, I will roll any dice, even if it's flat on a piece of terrain or an objective or anything. That's just a rule for the WTC, so I like getting used to that. You rolled a 2, and the Dark Eldar roll, a 1! Of course. I didn't even know what I rolled there. Could have been another one.
It was a 1.
Was it? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Karma.
No, it's just the rerolls. I didn't even see it. With that, I believe the Orcs want to go first.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. So with that, let's dive in to Orcs, turn 1. And we're here at the end of movement, turn 1 for the Orcs. As you can see, the Orcs have simply moved forward at full speed with a bunch of copters. They are, luckily enough, this is obscuring, so I'm, this is pretty much going to be okay, because even though they're aircraft, they can't see through. I can see them, they can't see me. So that's going to take a bunch of shots. That's going to take a bunch of shots. They're going to take a bunch of shots. And then this unit's here going to take a bunch of shots. He's gotten onto this objective with a bunch of grots and a run-turter. And then he's essentially just cut these nearby here. So let's see what happens as we move in to turn 1, shooting and combat for the Orcs. Okay, so shooting phase. First of all, let me just say, new terrain rules amazing. Being able to hide stuff behind stuff that's like this. Normally I'd not be able to hide, and he would have just shot me off the board. But being able to hide stuff and use terrain to your advantage, good. Mitigates that whole first turn alpha strike, which is awesome. So these 2 Chinorks could see these racks and killed 1. I got really lucky that he didn't wound with a whole bunch of attacks. And then all of these Chinorks kind of split their fire and tried to kill the Kronos too late, I find. Yeah. And he lived with 1 wound. Put 3 wounds on the Talos, put 1 wound on him. He was trying to see, to kill, and then he started focusing on the Talos, but it was 1 Chinork too late. And the Kronos, sorry. So he lived with 1 wound. And then over here, Super Shock Attack Gun. Box cars for damage. Box cars for strength. Bye-bye, Void Raven Bomber. Bye-bye. Did have to shoot twice, though, but he did get it on that last turn. And all of these, of course, can't see through this. Oh, they can see this if it's in range, but we'll check the range. Maybe one guy might be in range. Other than that, everything else is that, and we're going to move in to the first Drukari turn. Oh my goodness. And they have so much. He only shot with half his army. Holy moly, that's crazy. End of the movement phase for the very eclectic Drukari army. The Reaper just moved up. He can see all of these because they're aircraft. The Venom moved up with the Witches and the Blast Pistol. Archon moved up with the Incubi and another Blast Pistol. The Reaver jet bikes slashed the Grots with their slash attack and did 0 mortal wounds to that unit of Grots. Luckiest Grots in all of existence. However, they've moved up that way. And that's it, really. I've just kept myself in the table quarters to get my engage in all fronts. The Talos Grotesques have moved up. I've hidden my racks. Hopefully, maybe they'll survive 1 more turn. Who knows? And then the Kronos is going to be up there. I am going to be spending 1 command point to heal my Talos, however. D3 command point. D3. He gets 1 wound back, which is good for him. Other than that, I move the plane over there. Okay, so now my focus, basically, when you're playing an army that has the same of everything, you have to pick one that's positionally better for you to kill and just try kill it and just focus your fire. There's not much else in terms of rocket science. There's nothing else I can do. I just have to focus on what I can control and go for that. So with that, let's move on to the shooting phase. Mm-hmm. And we're back after turn 1 of the Drukari, and I killed 4 of them. Almost killed 5. My Talos failed on his wound rolls, even with reroll wounds. That has 2 wounds left, almost killed a 5th one. So that was really good. I'm happy about that. The Reaper did really well. The Blast Pistols did well. The Heat Lancers did well. Everything did. There was one big one, though, that exploded here. Killed my Homunculus, killed the Kronos. but did put a bunch of wounds on the other ones as well. And then the Reaver jet bikes didn't kill one grot, and Kyle decided to auto-pass morale because that is OBSEC, so he will be taking his 10 points for 2 objectives at the start of the second battle round. He did not want to fall back on, that's why he did it. So he did not want to fall back on the primary points there. So with that, with a Talos that only has 3 wounds left, or 2 wounds left, and no Chronos, no Homunculus, the push-in has done well. I got my engage on all fronts. And with that, we're moving into Orc, turn number 2. And here we are at the end of movement turn 2. Now, Chinorks have a bomb. They can fly over something and roll up 1 dice for each model in a unit up to 5 dice. So he flew 2 bombs over my racks and killed 1 more rack. So there's still 3 left. Yep. And then he flew over. He wasn't able to clear a lot of this without advancing. If he advances, he can't shoot his heavy weapons. So he doesn't want to advance. But he did kind of go in, and with obscuring, if you touch the terrain, you can kind of shoot through it. So he's now going to be targeting my objective secured. And he did try and bomb my bikes, and killed 1 bike so far. However, the grot did try and do a desperate breakout, because there's 1 grot that's surrounded by jet bikes. And I vectored it, and I rolled a 6! Vector's on my side today! He didn't stab me in the back like he does when I roll a 1, because there's no re-rolling that anymore. So he spent his CP to try desperately break out, and I was able to hold him in combat. So with that, we're moving into the shooting phase. And the first shooting is this guy here is just shooting to try and kill off that last Talos. Might be doing a stratagem. But we'll be back after the... the second turn. Oh, I'm excited. Less Chinorks, but then again, still lots of shooting.
Less anti-tank weapons.
Less anti-tank weapons remain in the Drukari army. So shooting was, he killed the Talos, which is good. It did take 4 Chinorks, but he did kill my Reaper. And the Reaper did explode to kill a Chinork. That didn't explode. There's 3 wounds left on that Chinork. One of the Cabalites died, which is the only one that this one could see. So there was some crazy stuff. The vecting that grot saved my Reaver jet bikes, and he basically moved back with his shock attack guns. Couldn't really see anything other than the plane, but like the plane got murdered by this 1 mech, and then the plane exploded. There's been so many explosions this game. It's great. Almost killed the mech. Put 3 wounds on that Chinork. Put 3 wounds on the run turret that has 4 wounds. So luckily he's alive. Almost killed some grots. What a crazy game this has been. But in terms of points, the Orcs get points for engage on all fronts again. They did almost, I think, pretty much max out their big game hunter, or their bring it down secondary. However, the Reaver jet bikes right now are going to prove to be amazing. A pain in the butt for the Orcs to handle. In which case, and I do get 1, 2, 3 objectives, so I will get my 15 points. With that, we move into turn 2. End of Drukhari turn 2 movement. Can you imagine? It's only turn 2. Mm-hmm. There's so much stuff happening. So I was able to kill the little grot in combat, which is good. Then they did the advance and slash attack on the big mech with the super shock attack, and only did 2 mortals though. Almost got him. A couple more 5s and he would have been dead, which would have been great. Totally worth 1 command point. I've deep struck my mandrakes here to shoot either into that Chinork or shoot him or charge him. I've brought the Haywire Scourge down there. They've got a variety of different targets to shoot if they need to. I've kept my Hellions in Deep Strike reserve, which is good. They've tucked into the to the corner there. Hopefully they survive next turn. We'll see. Next turn they're fearless, so they have to be murdered down to a man. And the Grotesques have moved up. Over here I've moved my Incubi, my Succubus, my Archon, the Venom, the Raider, all up into this flank to try and kill a bunch of grots, because apparently killing grots is important, while these witches have moved up with a blast pistol, and they've got some work to do on that side over there with those shock attack guns. So with that, we're moving into Eclectic Drukhari's turn number 2.
Which I thought they were getting away from.
Okay, so end of the turn for the Drukhari. Decent turn. I only killed 1 Chinork this time, though. Was it 1 and then 1 from the explosion? So he's down 6 Chinorks? 5 Chinorks?
6.
Oh, 6 Chinorks. So he's got 7 left. Oh, gosh. This one has 2 wounds left, though. That one has 3 wounds left. These 5 are full wounded, and I'm running out of stuff that can kill them. However, in the mission objectives, I'm doing relatively well. The Incubi, Archon Skari, and the Succubus have all rushed into this side. I was able to kill the mech, the grunt herder, or the grot herder, and 10 grots, and then pile in essentially to those 10 grots with my Succubus. So hopefully can keep them there if I need to. On this side over here, I have the Reaver jet bikes. That charged in. 1 grot stayed alive again, and then we had they piled in and tagged, and with the witches tagged all of the big mech shock attack guns and that, which is really good in terms of the mission. However, his firepower is pretty much unscathed, and I have less and less that can deal with his armor. And with that, did you want to spend the no, you can't anymore, so he has to take a morale.
Yep.
So he's pretty much just gonna run away, unless you roll a 1, in which case you auto pass.
No, run away.
And in that case, you auto pass, and then he's good.
He's half-inch from the table.
They-
He will get freedom.
Yeah. So he runs away, which is fine. Doesn't actually matter in this case. But we do go into the turn 3. Wow, what a bloodbath.
Yep.
End of Drukari turn 3. The Mandrake hid and put 1 wound on that Chinork. Then the Reaver jet bikes shot their pistols into the mech that they were in combat with. Almost killed him, left him with 1 wound. So they had to attack him. And I just focused all my attacks on him. Next turn, they have the ability to move away, and then all the Chinorks can just shoot them off the table. With that, on this side, we had the Grotesque sort of like spread out here, hold a couple of objectives. The Hellions moved back here, charged in and put 4 damage, because I rolled terribly to wound, but they are strength 5, so they could have done amazing work here. However, it was just a little too little. And I did kill the Grots and the mech that were on this side with a Venom and the Succubus, and then the Incubi just kind of moved back. So with that, the primary objective has eluded the Orks on their 4th turn. However,
I got a mech in the door.
oh, you do. You get 5 points then. Yeah, sorry. I forgot about that mech. So he does get 5 points for that. It hasn't eluded him. He did get points because he did hide a mech back there, but I can't get to him, which is actually really good. So he's getting those primary points, and he's pretty much killed like all the range guns that I have against his Chinorks. So I'm hanging on by a thread here, and there's still there's about half of the Chinorks left. It's turn 4. So moving on to turn 4 for the Orks. End of the movement phase. He's kept this Chinork in this corner, this one in this corner. They have sort of like moved up to target both the transports and the Reaver jet bikes, basically. He's focusing fire. And the Grots, the Big Mech, and the Runterder have fallen back from the jet bike successfully because all my witches did die, because the Grot pistols were very unkind to them in close combat.
One witch.
I had 1 left, and then the
There's
Big
one
Mech
pistol attack.
just killed her. But the witches were good for a few seconds, and then they died. And we're moving into the turn. Okay, shooting phase. Lots of Orc Daka continues. End of the shooting phase. So basically 3.5 Chinorks shot into the jet bikes, and I got lucky with some damage rolls there. 4 lived with 1 has 1 wound. And then this Chinork split fire and tried to kill the Mandrake, but the Mandrake survived. He's just sitting in the corner there. This Chinork missed the Venom completely. So out of like 20 shots, no 6s, so didn't even hit the Venom. And then this Chinork killed only 3 of the Hellions, or 4 of the Hellions. So 1 is still alive, and I am fearless because it's turn 4 now. While this Chinork over here did shoot and put 2 wounds on 1 Grotesque. So with that, I am moving into turn 4 for myself. The Mandrake living actually gives me my extra points, so I will get 15 points there, and that'll, I think, max out the primary for me. And then we'll move into the rest of the turn.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like, this is the experiment list.
It is. I love it. Experimental lists are like one of my favorite things to do. Chinorks, by the way, 10 times better. 5 points more than a truck, and like 100 times better. Yeah. I would probably run, I was telling Kyle, 8 to 10 instead of 13, and then use the points to put boys in, like shooter boys, and then use that. I think that would be really good. So in the movement, they stayed still. Archon Skari is moving up to shoot you with a pistol. Okay. The Hellion has moved up. He can shoot something here if he needs to. I've also got the Heat Lances. They are finally moved up. and I put them to shoot at the 2 wounded Chinork, or to potentially charge into that one with the Helion, or a variety of different things, or maybe shoot this one if I need to. So I've got options. I'm going to try and take out 3 Chinorks this turn. So we'll see. We'll see if that's possible as we move into turn 4 for the Drukhari. Okay, as he's moving for his turn 5. So end of the game. I did kill that Chinork with my Heat Lances, which was good. Yep. And then that Helion put 6 wounds on that guy, which was the only damage because he passed every save he needed to make against all of the blade veins. It was like 5 or 6 wounds with a -1, 5 5-ups on that Chinork. Great. Okay, and I did kill that one as well with the Raider, although I did have to spend a CP to reroll a wound roll, but it was worth it. 1 died. So he only has 4 Chinorks left. 1 has 2 wounds remaining. He gets 5 more points for his primary objective for the mech that's there. He has 2 command points to double shoot the shock attack gun, which is not a relic shock attack gun. And we're moving into the end of the game. It has been really fun. I did put my Incubi and my Succubus in there, so I had moved that out as well. So with that... and I totally messed up and didn't leave a unit in that table quarter. So I only got 2 for engage, which means I'm not going to max it. And we move into the last turn. But take a look at the board. Oh yeah, this is awesome. This is just like fun out of the book. Warhammer 9th edition.
There'll be wreckage of helicopters everywhere.
That's right, helicopters everywhere. Yes. So the Mandrake died. Hold Chinork into him. 2 of the Grotesques died. Almost killed the last one as well. Shot into the Raider with a shock attack gun, and I passed my invul save, but he did take D3 mortal wounds because it's not the relic one, it's just a normal one. And then the other shock attack gun shot, because it only was strength 4, targeted the Helion and killed the Helion. Very dead. Very, very dead. The Venom did finally die as well, but I don't need to be on any objectives for primary. However, we're moving into turn 5 for the Drukari. And if I can get my last engage on all fronts, I'm going to try to do that. The Incubi and the Succubus are going to get out and probably just go fight these guys over here. While the Reaver Jet Bikes are going to go and hopefully kill another Chinork. So we'll be back after this turn. And here we have it at the end of the movement phase for turn 5. So I'm just looking at trying to max out as many points as I can. I did mess up that one turn with engage on all fronts, which means... I did boost these jet bikes down here to try and get the 14 points. So they're going to basically shoot and potentially charge. I might not kill it, but, you know, I've got 1 CP left as well. The Incubi and the Succubus have come out. They're going to just charge in over here and potentially do some damage over there. The Raiders moved out this way to get myself engaged in that corner. I do have the Grotesque and the Rats that survived the whole game in that corner. Just sitting in that building the whole time. And then Archon Skari's gone up to just try and pistol shot that last guy, which we'll see, because then I've also got that Raider that could shoot, you know, where it needs to shoot. Okay, so with that, we're going to move into my shooting phase. And that is game. So at the end of the game, the Heat Lances did come through. I got 2 hits with Heat Lances, 2 wounds. He failed both of his invuls. And I did 9 damage with the Melters, so they were able to get 1 there, which is good. Archon Skari finally blew up the last one there. Didn't explode. And then the Incubi and the Succubus charged in, killed the mech and all the Grots, as well as this Raider did shoot and kill the Run Turret that was back there. So with that, it is a game. 89 points to 69 points. 20 points here and there. It was 15 points just for the mechs alone. Yep. But other than that, it was actually really tight. Mm-hmm. So that was really good. What did you think of all the Ork helicopters? I thought it was... fabulous. These helicopters are great. So please make sure you check out GearGutsMekShop.com. The link will be down below for all your 3D printed add-ons and extra stuff, and you should check it out. It's really, really cool as well. So make sure you check all that out. So Kyle, what are your thoughts? I think this is your first game of 9th.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Some things I still get used to.
Yep.
Some things are still around from 8th I never really understood that much.
Yep.
I'm really loving these Warcopters. They're so dumb. They're going to get nerfed. It's just a matter of when it happens. There's a few questions I need to ask about them, but we haven't gotten real answers yet, so I have to wait for the books and the actual FAQ.
Yep.
The real one, not the short one.
Yep.
But I'm excited to see what I can change in this list
to
make it better and why I can play better differently.
Well, I'll tell you what. I thought it's great. So, 90 points gets you 4d6 strength 5, minus 2 d3 damage shots. And then we have
With two bombs.
with
Yeah,
two
like
bombs
that.
that do mortal wounds and a rocket launcher for 90 points. A raider with a disintegrator cannon is 95 points. Neener. So yes, make sure you check that out. All the points will be out on Forge World on the Minotaurian manual, and make sure you head on over and yeah, check them out. They're really cool. I like them. Whenever I saw them, I thought they was the coolest thing ever, giving orcs like literally Dark Eldar raiders. I think a bunch of shooters inside would be really fun, or flamers, or flamers, or tank busters, or a bunch of stuff that would just like do a lot of damage output that way. But let us know what you think down below. Archon Skari has successfully led his hodgepodge of Drukari models of a little bit of everything. There's not much left. He's alive. One grotesque, a couple of racks, a raider. His bodyguards are fine.
They can all fit in the Raider.
They can all fit in the raider and go home. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. So with that, thanks a lot for tuning in. I've been Skari, your grateful host. If you'd like to support the channel, check out the Patreon page as well as Kyle's Patreon, because that's where he does all his 3D files. So make sure you check that out too. I'm Skari, your grateful host, signing off until next time. Skari out. And don't forget, the Dark Kin.